Father! No! Hello everyone, I'm Giuseppe Nelva and I'm your host for this brand new DualShockers Weebcast. And as usual, with me is our co-host Emily Hobbs.
Hello, good to see you guys again, hopefully, or for the first time if you're just joining us.
So welcome everyone, or should I say yokoso, since this is a Weebcast. Yeah, that's so weeb. Anyway.
A little bit. But
as we mentioned at the beginning of the first episodes, this is a podcast in which we have fun discussing all things weeb and Japanese. Of course, we have a focus on gaming since we're a gaming website. We're also touching on anime and more. Today's main theme is Sega's rather explosive announcements from Saturday morning, including the Mega Drive Mini, Shenmue 1, 2 from multiple platform, and a new Sakura Taisen. There's a lot on the menu, so we're going to abandon the plan of talking for just half an hour, and we hope you won't be too bored by us.
It only took 2 episodes to abandon the idea of talking for half an hour.
Yeah, it's going to be an hour. Let's hope we won't be too bored. Yeah. We'll try to keep it as short as possible, since, listening to us for that much could be a little, boring or something. Anyway, so let's get started. And let's get started as usual with talking with what we're playing. So, Emily, what have you been playing this week?
Well, finished Far Cry 5, and I'm working on Radiant Historia. I'm really starting.
How is it?
I'm really enjoying Radiant Historia. I really like games that have that kind of branching storyline and deal with sort of time travel and that sort of thing. I mean, I like Steins Gate, and Majora's Mask is my favorite Legend of Zelda. So I really like those kind of branching timeline things. I like the story so far. The battle mechanics are simple, but there's some spice to them. So I'm enjoying that a lot. But I actually had a little retro moment. There was an old game on PS2 that I played when I was super young.
Because you're not super young now.
I'm pretty young, as you like to remind me. But it was called Magic Pengel: The Quest for Color. And it was this... I have no idea who made it. It was this company, and they released it, and I played it when I was a kid. And I loved that game. I loved it so much. And so I went back and I was like, all right, let's see how this has aged. I'm happy to report that it has not aged very well. But I still had a lot of fun with it. I was expecting it not to age well. The voice acting, the lines, it's all so stilted and horribly written.
Is that the voice acting in English?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
But it's very clearly translated from another language.
That would do it.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is great!" Because I'm dumb when you're a kid.
You played anything else?
I also played a free visual novel on an Otome visual novel on Steam called Cinderella Phenomenon. Yeah.
Is that a Japanese visual novel or one of those made by a Western team?
It's an indie company, so I'm not 100% sure. They're called Daisuke. Daisuke, I think. Yeah. But dice, as in DICE.
Okay.
Because their whole thing is dice or whatever. But it's on Steam right now. It's completely free. It's not like one of those mobile visual novels where you download it and you can only read so many chapters at a time, and then you have to wait. It's completely free. You can read the entire thing. You can knock it out in a couple of hours. But it's really neat. The artwork kind of falters at certain points, but it's generally good artwork. I really love the main protagonist because normally in an otome game you get this, female protagonist who's all like, "Oh, I can't talk for myself," and that sort of thing. But this one's just a bitch. She hates everyone. She doesn't want to be involved in the story. The whole thing is that there are these curses based off of fairy tales, and hers is a Cinderella one, so she has to do 3 good deeds before a certain time passes, and she struggles with that. She struggles with doing just 3 good deeds out of like the kindness of her heart. But it does some really neat things with its whole theme is fairy tales and sort of people being cursed based off of fairy tales. And it does some really neat things. Like there's a guy who's got the Beauty and the Beast curse, and so he's this beautiful man, and every woman who looks upon him falls in love with him. But if he falls in love with a girl, then he turns into like a monster or a beast. And if she doesn't reciprocate the love, then I think ends up killing her, or she runs away. I don't know. But it's got like. Yeah, it's got some really interesting takes on fairy tales, and like I said, completely free. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, I recommend you check it out.
That's
and
interesting.
that's what I've.
I've actually been like while you were talking, I was silent because I was actually researching on this dice.
Yeah, I heard you typing keys.
Yeah, well, I have a keyboard, that tend to make typing key noises. I will have to check it out, definitely.
Yeah.
I actually, contrary to popular belief, I actually like otome visual novels. Yeah, I know.
I know you do, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, do you play anything else?
That's it for games I've played.
So let's see what I played, because if you go into anime, I forget to say what I played.
That's fair.
Okay, so basically, I haven't played very many different things compared to the last week. I've been playing mostly the same game, which last week I couldn't say, but it was God of War because I was reviewing it. My review is on the side.
Yeah, you pumped that
I know
review
it's not
out.
Japanese, but it has a very good story, and as everyone knows, every game that has a good story is inspired from Japanese games, right?
Yeah.
So obviously there was a lot of inspirations there. Then I've been playing a little bit of my usual mobile games, so Mavlava, Alternative Strike Frontier, and Grand Blue Fantasy, because I play those daily, so you're probably gonna hear about them like from now to eternity. Because you gotta play those games daily, because otherwise you're not gonna get much. I've been playing quite a bit of Dead or Like Extreme Venus Vacation, because there is a new waifu, but we'll talk about a little bit more about that in the news section. And then I've been playing in some more Mavlov, but this time around I've been playing a bit of the 4th chapter of Mavlov Alternative Chronicles, which is a very, very, very dark part of Mavlov set after Mavlov Unlimited, but I can't say much besides that because it would be a spoiler. It's only in Japanese anyway, so hopefully we'll get to the West because the story is great. It's super dark, but it's great.
I do enjoy a good dark story.
I know you do. That's why you need to play Mavlov, and you haven't yet, and that's why you're on the verge of being fired.
I know. I'm hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah. And that's actually pretty much. Some Final Fantasy XIV also. Which
I need to get into that.
Yeah, you need to get into that. You definitely
because I'm always afraid of like playing MMOs and stuff because I'm afraid of getting sucked in and losing my life to them. But I really want to play Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay, you have to. Good. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little more also during the news section. So what anime did you watch?
Let's see. Tokyo Ghoul second episode. Still kind of concerned. Oh yeah, I rewatched Black Butler Book of Atlantic because Funimation dropped a trailer for the English dub a little while ago, and that got me all excited for it. And so I watched
English
Book of
dubs?
Atlantic. I watched the English subs of Book of Atlantic.
No, I mean, do you actually watch English dubs?
Depends on the show.
Okay.
Black Butler actually has a pretty decent one because it's set in Victorian England, I think. Victorian England. And They actually
Makes
have all the
sense.
voice actors do accents and stuff. And some of them hit home and some of them don't. It's hilarious to be along for the ride, but it's actually a decent dub. Um, it's funny because there are some characters that I like more on the English side and some that I like more on the Japanese side, just in
Gotcha.
terms of their voice fitting their personality. But I'm a huge fan of Black Butler. It was one of the first anime that I really started to follow because I had a friend back in like middle school who was super into it, and she got me into anime. And so it's one of the few manga that I actually read like serial to serial, like as the chapters come out. Normally I like wait for a manga that I write to get a couple of chapters out and then I like binge them because I don't really like to wait.
Gotcha.
I don't like suspense. I want to know what's happening. But it's actually at a really interesting point in the manga right now, going into detailing how the two main characters met, because it's CL, who's this young, I think he's 13, he's an earl, and he has a butler who is a demon named Sebastian, and it's sort of their interaction. And right now they're detailing how they met, and it's really interesting. I am shocked at the amount of detail they put into some of the earlier anime books, because there is a very overt and very specific hint and spoiler in like a flashback scene in one of the episodes of the anime that you wouldn't realize is a hint or a spoiler until you get to these chapters and you read them and you're like, oh shit. So I think that's really neat. Yeah, I think that's really
podcast.
neat. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I think in PG you can say shit a couple of times.
It's fine. It's fine. If YouTube censor us, it's your fault.
Okay, all right. Well, you're the one writing a not safe for work article.
Yeah, but it's not in this podcast. Anyway, go ahead. Anything else?
That's about it. Looking forward to the English dub because it's going to be interesting, and nothing else really new in terms of anime. There are a few I need to get into.
Okay.
But,
so what did I watch? First of all, like the big one for this week was the first episode of Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory, which is the return of basically my favorite series ever. And it's as good as as I remember it, maybe even a little better even if you know there is, we still don't have to get into it. We still didn't get into it much because it's the first episode, but there was some scenes that were like really, really like a crowning of what happened before.
That's a lot of high praise for just the first episode coming from you.
I really, really liked it. I really liked it. I have high hopes. Unfortunately, there isn't much I can say without spoiling those scenes, but it looks like everything is going to go to hell anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's great. It's exactly where it needs to go.
It's a really, really awesome, really, really awesome anime, and I'm really happy to get and watch more about it, but we'll need to wait for the new episodes because this is just the first. It's just aired. Then I watched the second episode of The Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and that is also fantastic. It's continuing with a very high quality from the first episode and showing the other side. Like the story is pretty much split between two sides. There is the Imperial sides and the Republican side, pretty much. I don't remember the name, the Free Planet Alliance, side. Why do they call it Republic? Maybe that's Star Wars influencing me too. But anyway, the first episode was mostly focusing on the Empire side, and the second episode is more focusing on the Free Planet Alliance because there is no bad guys in this. Well, there are bad guys, but not like separated by faction. Basically, it's mostly two nations that each fights for its own reasons. And the pacing was great. Still, like, I don't know how much they'll be able to fit into the 12 episodes of the first season. There are probably going to be more seasons unless they, like, abandon it, because they definitely are not accelerating much compared to the 110 episodes of the old series. And nothing. It was really great, and I really recommend people watch it. Of course, if you want to know what happens and you don't want to wait, you can just find the the 110 episodes of the old series.
Yeah.
And watched it. So, what else did I watch? I watched the second episode of 3D Kanojo, the one I was telling that, the usual otaku that gets, involved with the idol of the school, pretty much. But it gets even cuter and even more interesting because it seems that she has a secret, but she doesn't want to say it. And there is this thing that she's going to transfer schools in 6 months, or so she says. And so it's interesting to see. Basically, it's a relationship with the deadline. So that's actually a pretty interesting theme. We'll have to see how it goes. But it's very cute, very interesting. One of those anime that for now, because it didn't get tragic yet, it's one of those
it's
anime.
It's a feel-good anime right now.
Exactly. Like my idea of a feel-good anime is pretty much like Love Live. That's the kind of anime that pretty much there is almost nothing tragic in it. So you pretty much just watch it to feel good and say, "Oh, I was so cute." But we'll see. Yeah. There could be some darker stuff behind. So
they're good. Sometimes they like to mask it behind cute stuff.
Yeah. Then there is like Tadakun Wakoi Washinai, which is the one with all the photography stuff mixed in, and they actually have a photography club. So that was the reason behind all the photography details that I was talking about last week. So yeah, that was, they have a photography club, so it's pretty interesting. There are a few interesting characters. The second episode did not proceed that much, besides the fact that the two newcomers, like the probably princess, they still didn't say if she is one, joined the photography club alongside their bodyguard, which is why I think she's a princess, because she goes around with the bodyguard. And they introduced some new characters, which is really well characterized. I like it. It's also for now a feel good anime. So we'll have to see. I haven't yet seen the second episode of Megalobox. It's probably gonna do something tonight. So I don't know how that went through. And also I have to watch the second episode of Persona 5. So missed that one yet. It's gonna be, actually that one is gonna come out tomorrow, probably, not today. So yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I also watched the new Gundam Build series, the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of kiddish. So I
you're
watch
allowed
it mostly
to have that.
No, I mostly watch it for the robots. But
I'm just looking at it for the articles.
Yeah, honestly, the story for now is kind of like low kiddish. But if you enjoy that kind of stuff, it's pretty much Beyblade with Gundams.
No shame.
Or Pokemon.
Beyblade Gundams. I like that.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. It's not the super thing that will super emotionally involve you, but that's how it is. It's not too terrible. And that's it, pretty much. I don't think I watched anything else this week. So we can move to the main theme. Yay. So here's what happened. This morning, well, it was pretty much yesterday night yet still, there was this live stream from Sega Fest. I personally did not really expect much from it until Sega started to tease. Huge announcement, whatnot. I was like, huge announcement, but you know how that goes, right? When they say it's huge, it never really is huge. So yeah, I went into it expecting some simple stuff. And I start seeing that there was a trailer at the beginning, and it was like a trailer was showing old Sega's consoles. I'm like, are they going to announce a new console? No, can't be possible. So, yeah, like that would be crazy. It would never do that. In the end, they did not announce a new console, but they still announced the Sega Mega Drive Mini, which is basically a mini version of the Mega Drive. Then they also announced, this is pretty much a smaller announcement, I guess. They announced Sega Ages, which is a compilation of old Sega games for the Switch, which is not bad at all. I mean, I guess between the 4 announcements that they made was kind of the smallest, at least for me, but they do have some interesting titles. They announced only 3 titles so far, which is Phantasy Star, the original one, so that's a very good one. They also announced, what was that? So the original Sonic the Hedgehog and Thunder Fire 4. So that's a good trio. There are going to be 15 games in it. So the third announcement.
What do you think they're going to include?
I have no idea, to be honest, because those compilations depend a lot on rights, licenses, and whatnot.
Yeah, true. True.
I guess it's a good kind of stuff for the Switch. Like everyone seems to be doing like this kind of compilations for the Switch.
I think it works for the Switch.
I guess it does. I just don't understand why they don't release them on all platforms, because it's not like they wouldn't work on all platforms. But I guess they want to push the Switch a bit, and that's fair. Anyway, the third announcement was the enormous one, and like when the trailer started going, and I was like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Were you just yelling at me for saying shit?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is
an oh fuck moment.
This is really one of those moments, because they shown a certain dojo plaque broken like the beginning. I was like, oh my god, this is Shenmue. Oh my god, this is Shenmue. And it was Shenmue. So it was Shenmue 1 and 2 for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Actually, they announced it only for PS4 at the beginning, but then the press, because in Japan, the event was from Japan, in Akihabara, but so in Japan it's going to be only for PS4, but in the West it's going to come for PC, and Xbox One as well. No Switch, for some reason. Also, on the other side, I don't understand why they don't release this kind of game for Switch, because it can definitely run it, and so I don't get it. But I'm also of the opinion, I'm also not the kind of crowd that every time there is a game that's not released on Switch, I'm like, why the hell did they not release it on Switch? Because ultimately it's a business decision. No company is like, some people seem to be convinced that all companies have an obligation to release older games on a certain platform, and this obligation does not exist. Normally they run the numbers and they say, okay, this makes sense for us or not. And apparently someone at Sega ran the number and it didn't make sense for them. So it's fine. Personally, I would have preferred everyone to possibly experience it, because Shenmue 1 and 2 are great games. And with upcoming Shenmue 3 also, it's good. It's good that people have a chance to check it out. But that's it. So I was literally almost crying while I was writing.
I just imagine you on the floor,
I wasn't on the floor, because writing on the floor would not be easy. But I was crying writing a little bit when they came out, and then come the clincher.
As if that wasn't enough.
No, because there was more. They actually announced that they're going to make a new full-fledged Sakura Taisen game, and that's, for me, it's even better than Shenmue, because I actually love Sakura. I know people are gonna throw Rotten Tomatoes at me, are gonna hate me, gonna send hate mail at my address and whatnot, but for me, Sakura Taisen is even more important and relevant than Shenmue. It's one of my favorite series ever, and unfortunately, most people in the West have actually kind of a wrong idea of it, because they only got in English Sakura Taisen 5, which is the one that was localized by NIS America for Wii and I believe PS2 as well, as Sakura Taisen, Sakura Wars So Long My Love. And that was not the best of the series. It was it was different setting, it was different characters, and it was not the highest point. It was kind of what killed it. So I really hope, I know that the new game is going to go back to the old setting. They already say that. The only thing they said, they didn't say platform or anything, but that's a clincher for me. I'm really looking forward to it. So, what about you? What do you think about this news? Do you have any highlights?
I'm excited for Shenmue 1 and 2, because when they originally came out, I was pretty young, so I never really got to experience them.
Were you
like myself? I've seen people play them, but I haven't gotten a chance to. So I'm definitely looking forward to maybe picking those up. And then it's like you said with Sakura Wars, the last one was 5, and I think that was probably the one I played, because I did play a Sakura Wars game.
Was it in English?
And yeah, it was in English.
So it was that one, because that's the only one they localized.
Yeah. And I just remember playing it and being like, this is alright.
That wasn't Sakura Wars. Really,
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
the way you're talking, I'm definitely interested to see what direction they take with this new one.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not a big Sega person, but this is definitely some really exciting announcements, and I really like the tendency they're having to bring out these like mini classic consoles like they did with the NES and this and that, and I think that's really cool. So a lot of exciting announcements here, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And then for those that don't know about it, Sakura Wars, the original name is Sakura Taisen, but in the West, Taisen simply Wars. Like Super Robo Wars is also Super Robo Taisen. Basically, what it is about, it's an interesting mix because it's a tactical RPG at heart, but it also has like dating simulation and visual novel elements. So it's really interesting in the way it's structured, and it has a little bit of anything that we love. They have a very good story too. So if you don't know about it, don't go back and play Sakura Taisen 5. Probably
Don't play the last game.
I mean, if you played it, that's good. That's fine. But if you go there, if you want to play it, it's not a terrible game. But if you go there and play it, please don't base your impression on the series on that one, because the first games are much better. I mean, it's been 8 years since the release of the 5 in the West, and actually it's been 13 years since the release of it in Japan, because it was also a much older game. Like it took 5 years to localize.
Wow.
Yeah, basically just if you want to play it, just to get an idea of how the series plays, that's fine. But do not base your idea of the series that. So don't lose excitement for the new one for that, because the characters are completely different and the story is also completely different. So yeah. By the way, it's is set on a fictional-ish universe, Taisho era, so beginning of the 19th century, but fictional-ish version of it. Like, and it's not exactly the same. So you could say it's the precursor of Akira Chronicles, pretty much.
Yeah, I was about to say, kind of like Valkyria Chronicles,
Exactly.
where it's real world sorta, but not.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. That's pretty much it. Speaking of Valkyria Chronicles, tomorrow for us, so it's going to be, since this podcast is coming out on Monday, it's going to be yesterday for you. For the you that are listening, they're going to give some information about the Switch version of Valkyria Chronicles 4. So it's probably going to be on the site, and you're going to see. I don't have a crystal ball, so I have no idea what they're going to say. Possibly a release date for Japan. Possibly they're going to show it, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's because it's still Sega Fest. It's like 2 days, and they're continuing tomorrow. They're also going to show something of Persona 5 Dancing on the Dancing Star Night and Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night. Which they also shown today. Unfortunately, I could not record it because for some reason they didn't leave the videos available anymore after the event.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I was planning to put the original video in our articles, because there is music, so YouTube tends to be very touchy about recording that stuff and posting a separate video. Especially since Sega tends to distribute copyright strikes left and right in Atlas. So I did not record it, and I kind of kicked myself in the back for that, because they took off the video of all of it. So I can't show what they shown. They're actually showing some gameplay for them, some extensive gameplay, including customization and stuff. And unfortunately, I won't be able to show you. And apparently, no one recorded it too. So yeah. In any case, I guess I could find it on Nico Nico, but Nico Nico's quality is terrible.
Yeah.
We'll see. If I get the time, I'll check it out. In any case, going forward, on that still, I kinda excited for the Mega Drive Mini, but not as excited as some, I guess, because I have a Mega Drive. So.
Oh, you do? Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's same for the NES and the SNES Mini. I have a NES and a SNES, the real ones. Why would I want the mini version?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, you don't need to blow on the cartridges, but
That's fun though.
Yeah, but what's the difference of actually using an emulator besides the fact that it's legal? And okay, but I have the games, so theoretically, I'm in the kind of a gray area in which I could kind of use an emulator because I have the console and I have the games. So
yeah, you're in a weird spot.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that, if I have the console and I have the game, I don't feel bad actually, using an emulator for comfortable play. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, that's pretty much it. But Sakura Taisen for me is the highlight, really. What about you? Do you have anything else that stands out, like maybe the old games that you have never played, like Phantasy Star?
Probably, I'm looking forward to Shenmue, honestly, because I have wanted to play that, but just never got the chance to. So this will really make it more accessible, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't really that fazed by Sakura Taisen, but you talking about it kind of makes me a little bit interested to see, because I really like it when visual novels kind of blend with other genres, because I feel like they blend really well and it kind of spices things up a little bit. So we'll see what sort of announcements we get coming up. But
the only thing that worries me a bit about Shenmue 1 and 2 is that the games are legendary because of people that are kind of hyping them up from the time in which they played them a long time ago. But honestly, they did not age very well. They did not. Mm-hmm. Like I actually played Shenmue 1 recently, just for kicks. But personally, I'm not that much into graphics, so I don't really mind if a game did not age very well. But I can see, and some of the mechanics also are quite outdated. So, and if you don't like quick-time events, you're screwed, really.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the people that have not, I fear, a lot of people that have not played Shenmue 1 and 2, especially Shenmue 1, are going to impact against this obsolescence. Is that how you say it in English?
Obsoleteness?
Well, that thing. And they're going to not be as interested in the series anymore. So I'm a little worried. I hope people will be able to enjoy the story and the creativity of the game and the fact that some of it also translated. I know a lot of people get angry when you say that the Yakuza series is a spiritual success for kind of a Shenmue, but they do have a lot in common. They also have stuff in common. So,
and I'm a huge fan of the Yakuza series.
Yeah,
so
if you love the Yakuza series, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so it would, make sense for me to want to see kind of some roots to it.
If you love the Yakuza series, there is a good chance that you're probably going to like the Shenmue series if you can get past the obsolete mechanics and graphics. But to be honest, the Yakuza series also has some obsolete mechanics that survive to this day and no one cares, no one minds.
Yeah, they do.
So it's fine. But yeah, since the series has acquired this legendary status among people that have no idea what actually it plays like. Because there is a lot of people among the oh my gosh, Shenmue, it's amazing crowd that they never played a minute of Shenmue. They just go by inertia from all the people that have hyped it up for years and years. So I'm a little bit worried that some of those people are going to be a little surprised by the fact that Shenmue has flaws. Especially now, Shenmue has flaws. So be prepared. When the games come out, be prepared to find some aspect that may be jarring. Please understand that this is a game that was released in 1999.
1990, yeah. So you're going to expect some weird things.
Yeah, then 2001 for the second. So it's been 19 years. And
it's dated, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, keep that in mind, please. Don't be disappointed and still look forward to 3. Because
I didn't think about that, but I bet that's probably something that's going to happen is a lot of people are going to get all hyped up that have never played it. And then they're going to play these and they're going to be like,
keep your hype in check, really. That's the important part. Because it's not a perfect game. And it is obsolete in many ways. But it is fun if you can you can ignore those parts. So, and the story is amazing. So you focus on the story, focus on the characters, and you will be fine. just keep your hype in check, and you'll be fine. That's all I wanted to say. That was my personal message to the many that will finally be able to experience Shenmue after 19 years, which is I'm really happy about, because maybe I'm also happy because maybe some of the hype will kind of die out, because hype is never too good. And it's actually a good thing that the hype gets a little bit disinflated before Shenmue 3 comes out. So people that are going to play Shenmue 3 are going not to be, to have a, unrealistic expectation, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to go in with, a level head, kind of.
Yeah, somehow, at least.
Somewhat.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to say about this, or we can move on to the news?
I think we can wrap up and move on to the news, if you're ready.
So, today they announced some updates for Final Fantasy XIV. They announced which you want to get into, so you should better listen now. So they announced the
I know a bit about it.
Update for .3. That's going to be called Under the Moonlight, and it's going to feature a lot of new content, new dungeon, new encounters, new raid for Alliance that will continue the Return to Ivalice saga, which is basically based on Final Fantasy XII, and actually designed and written by Yasumi Matsuno, which is the director of Final Fantasy XII. So I'm looking forward to that, because I really like the first part. Also, there is going to be Yotsuyu is going to be featured prominently in the story. Everyone that knows who Yotsuyu is, you probably don't. Yotsuyu is best girl. She's a former sadistic dictator that steps on people, literally.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
There are people there are literally people that were on with T-shirts. Yotsuyu, they say, "Please step on me, mistress," or something like that.
Oh God!
I'm not joking.
Oh my! I mean, good for them.
But probably the biggest news was the announcement of the Final Fantasy XIV companion app, which will allow people to have chat, inventory management, and stuff on their smartphone, which also is pretty good. There is a premium plan that costs $5 a month. And so I'm pretty sure some people are going to hate that.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend them because I'm a victim. I'm a victim, so that's all really good. Yeah. Yeah. Just the fact that they give you an additional retainer, which means an additional waifu in your room. I'm sure. God.
That's good. That's good.
I'm sold.
That's fine. Yeah.
So next piece of news. So I would ask you your opinion, but you don't play Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah.
I do not. What's your full opinion on the companion app? Because I know a lot of people were kind of up in arms about it with the.
I think it's fine. Premium. I mean, it provides enough stuff for free to if you don't want the premium, don't pay it. That's really. I mean, it's still a plus for people that don't pay. Having the companion app is still an advantage for people who do not pay it. So you're basically getting something for nothing. And people that pay get something more for nothing, but for something. But, I'm fine. I'm going to pay for it because I'm a victim again.
Yeah. Healthy.
Then let's move on. Yeah, I know. Let's move on to the next one, and this is probably going to involve you a little more. So we finally got the official English title of My Hero Academia's One Justice, which they renamed into My Hero One Justice. Which
is a bit confusing, but okay.
Well, they did not say the reason, but the reason is probably the same for Attack on Titan, and in Europe got called AOT.
Yeah.
I know some people at Koei Tecmo kinda were not so happy of having to do that, I'm pretty sure. But this is for both North America and Europe, so it's not going to be called like the anime, so probably gonna lose sales after that. Surely Bandai Namco is not too happy about that, but these kind of licensing problems, they probably have no choice. I think they could have chosen something better than My Heroes Wants Justice, but how do you feel about that?
I'm not a huge fan of the title, to be honest. I think they could have probably been a little more creative. I honestly I haven't had a chance to get into the anime, but I know a lot of people who are really really excited about it and really excited about this game. And I know there's a lot of really strong source material in terms of how they draw from American comic book styles and certain eras from American comic books. So I'm not a huge fan of the title. I don't think it's great.
Yeah, my most vivid experience with the series has nothing to do with, with the anime,
I know
manga.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically,
nice
I was
breaks.
in Tokyo with a friend, and a friend that works in the industry, so I'm not going to name drop him because I don't want to like shame him in front of everyone. But he is a big.
You'll just shame
you know
yourself
who you
alone.
are. You know who you
You
are.
know who you are.
So basically,
Perfect.
we were in Tokyo. We were like just after Tokyo Game Show. So and it was his first time in Japan. So I was walking him around Akihabara. So we went to Animate in Akihabara. There is at the top floor. There is the Good Smile Cafe, which like switches team. So it becomes like a team cafe for something, and then after a month or something, they change to another something. You know, and that time they had a My Hero Academia cafe.
Oh.
And and this guy he's a big fan of My Hero Academia, so it was literally smushing his face against the glass door. And a waitress came out of this was not.
You guys want to come in, or
First
you
of
just
all,
gonna stand out there?
this is not the maid cafe. So, let me put that in front. This is not maid cafe. It was just team cafe. But the waitress comes out and basically drags her in. And it was the first time in my life that I got dragged inside a teen cafe. And literally, it was only girls inside because apparently in Japan, My Hero Academia is more popular between girls than between guys due to the characters, probably.
Yeah.
And there was literally only girls, and the drinks were the most girly thing I ever drank in my life. Like I drank the most innocuous thing I could find on the menu, and it was a kiwi flavored thing. It was totally like emerald green with some
the most
whipped cream on top.
innocuous thing I could find. Like that.
But his drink was worse. It was pink and strawberry with whipped cream and stuff, and I was like looking at him and laughing. Yeah, it was fun, but.
That was a good story.
It was an interesting, literally the only time in which I actually got dragged inside the team cafe in Akihabara. Sometimes like a couple of times I went on my own, like to the Final Fantasy 14 cafe and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or to the Square Enix cafe also in Akihabara. Those are interesting. This one was kind of scary from outside, so I didn't want to go in.
Kind of scary from outside.
And I was just like literally dragged because, the waitress saw this guy, this big European guy with his face smushed against the glass door.
It's like this guy needs to come in.
Yeah, it was like, unless otherwise he's going to leave his face print on the glass.
Yeah, really. They can't afford to wipe that away.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Code Vein. Code Vein is it got some news as well, and I think you can present them since you're very interested in Code Vein. I am as well, but go ahead.
Well, let's see. Code Vein got another gameplay trailer, which I really, really liked. It showed off a lot of really neat stuff. It showed off something that's kind of like I was talking earlier about how I watch a lot of Tokyo Ghoul and how I like Tokyo Ghoul a lot, but it shows off something that's a lot like Tokyo Ghoul, with a character kind of gets covered in this substance and uses it to start attacking, kind of like the Darkness or the Darkness 2 if you played those games. And I thought it looked really cool, and I am really, really excited. There's been a couple of screenshots, some gameplay. I think they had an announcement about
possible
something.
Sequel?
Yeah. They said that they were looking already at a sequel to expand the story of the game.
Okay. Let me interject here, because I heard people like protesting. Oh my God, get out the first game before thinking about the sequel. This was an interview in Famitsu. So the Famitsu interviewer literally asked them if they wanted to make the franchise. So it's not like they're already thinking about making a franchise.
It's not like they have a game right in the oven ready to go.
Like the developer was put on the spot and he said what his ambitions are. Doesn't mean that they're like already thinking of a sequel, like in specific and practical terms. So they would like to expand the word with the sequel if that happens, but
that's good. It shows they have pride in their product. And I mean, I'm very interested
so much since you seem to be like quite enthusiastic about it.
I really like Dark Souls, and honestly, this latest gameplay video I really enjoyed watching. I'm really interested to see sort of where it goes, and when I get my hands on it, I'm gonna be playing it for quite a while, I think. But yeah, it looks literally like Dark Souls crossed with Tokyo Ghoul, so I'm a huge fan of that sort of mix.
Okay.
With vampires.
So, yeah, I don't like vampires, but I think I'll be okay with that for this.
If they're like the cool vampires, like
they're cool vampires.
I don't know.
I don't think
they're
so. I've been scarred I've been scarred by an anime that's called Vampire Knight. I don't know if you know about it.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's weird. No, it's weird.
Like the female protagonist goes after the totally wrong guy, so that kind of scarred me.
Yeah.
I really hated it. Anyway,
if you guys if you listeners like Vampire Knight, that's good for you. But I'm not a fan personally.
Me too. Okay, so next one. Siegfried is returning in Soul Calibur. Yay, the stage of history.
Yes. Oh my god.
Welcome to the stage of history. Aha, Siegfried. Well, this is near and dear to my heart because Siegfried has been my main in all the Soul Calibur Soul Edge game that was in which it was available since the very first, since Soul Edge, because I had a little, like when I was kind of very young, I played with my first girlfriend, and so since she was very much younger, not younger, she was my same age actually. She was very much better than me at the game. I started playing Siegfried because Siegfried had that, chopping move from a bow that you could pretty much spam with the right timing all the time, and you basically instant win against. Unless you were against someone that was really, really good. So basically that's why I loved Siegfried since I was very much younger because it's cheap.
Because he's cheap. I like that. Very matter of fact way of saying.
Well, he's also very cool. What about you?
I'm excited to see Siegfried return. I'm not hugely surprised.
Yes. Well, there was Nightmare, so
yeah,
it wasn't doubt.
Yeah.
I guess Nightmare is not a guy this time around.
But Soul Calibur 6 looks like it's getting some really interesting characters. I'm really interested to see how Geralt does. Or Geralt.
Gerald? Who's Gerald?
Geralt. Whatever. Gerald. How Gerald does.
Geralt.
How Gerald does. Good old Gerald of Rivia.
Have you played The Witcher?
Yeah, I have. I've played all three.
You don't know it's Geralt.
Yeah, I know it's Geralt. Blah, blah, blah. But, fun fact about the Witcher series, I hated Witcher 1 and 2.
You suck.
And Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. So if you haven't played Witcher 3, that goes to show how good Witcher 3 is.
Okay, if we go into why you hated The Witcher 1 and 2, it's gonna go for 2 hours, not one.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Okay. So next one. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just summing up. Yep.
Okay.
Continue.
Next one, we had the Mavlov interview with creator Koki Yoshimune on the site, and just watch it because we have the full video on now on the site, and it's awesome. I'm very proud of the editing of that.
Is the Mavlov giveaway still going on, or is that?
Yeah, the Mavlov giveaway was about to talk about giveaways at the end.
There you go.
But yeah, so we'll talk about it in the end.
Alrighty.
So we have some Dragon Quest news as well. Dragon Quest 11 news. First of all, we learned that the Switch version is gonna be a long way off. And that's because they're updating the engine actually for the Switch, so it has problems and they have to solve those problems. But it's based on the PS4 version, so it's not going to be some hybrid with the 3DS version. So you're gonna have the spiffy graphics. I don't know how spiffy the Switch is gonna make them, but they're gonna be the good version, good I mean, I know people.
The good version.
I know some people like the 3DS version, but I don't. I mean, we got pixel stuff like all over the place. We don't need another one. Anyway, yeah, another one is that it won't have any censorship. So it will have the puff puff or pafu pafu, as the Japanese say. It's going to be there. You know what's the puff puff? The puff puff is?
I think I have a vague understanding of what the puff puff is, but go ahead and explain.
I won't, because I don't want to spoil it. It's fun if you're surprised by it. And also, they explained why they wanted to add the English voice acting. First of all, they explained what is going to have the English voice. This is all in our interview. The full interview is going to be up tomorrow, probably. Actually, it's going to be yesterday for you listeners.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. So basically, they're going to voice act all the cutscenes, all the cinematics, and all the fighting banter. And there is also something that's called party dialogue, which is basically dialogue between party members, and some of it is going to be voiced, not all of it. But
sort of like the Tales of series.
Pretty much. The reason why they decide, also they already recorded all the voice acting, so that's ready. The reason why they decided to do the voice acting in English, first of all, they couldn't do it in Japanese because they didn't have time. Because basically they wanted to refine the script until the very last moment, because that's the most important thing for them. So they could not put in the voice acting. Because, of course, voice acting is one of the things that takes the most to do. So they would have added a few months on top of the script writing. But then, since now the script is already written, they can add it. But the main reason is because the continent in which the game is set is very big, so there are many different populations in it, and all of them they will give them different accent in order to add more depth and more flavor to each region, basically.
That'll be really cool. Yeah.
And that's it for Dragon Quest news, pretty much. Then we have another one that's very important and very near and dear to my heart. Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation as a new waifu. Yay!
Oh my god.
What's this? Oh my god.
I'm just so happy that you're excited.
I can hear the drooling sarcasm from your voice.
What? No.
So basically, there is this new waifu that they just added. But by the way, her name is Tamaki, and she is the Onisan type, so the older sister type. But she loves drinking and bar hopping. So yeah, they try to make her like more as adult oriented as they could, basically. Even the trailer, basically, we had to put a now safe for work tag on it because there is no nudity, but her attitude, and she's a little bit like a porn star.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she looks good. But basically, what they did is what they always do with new characters. They put a paid gacha, and you have like a whopping what was that? Was the percentage 0.77% chance for every 10 draws that you make.
Oh my.
Which cost about $40.
Oh my.
And you cannot do it with the gems that you grind while playing the game, so you only can do it only by playing this week. So yeah, if you're playing the game, my advice is hold off. Don't even try to get her this week, because that's crazy. That's literally this game. I enjoy it as it's a good like time waster while I'm working on stuff, because it doesn't require much of a thing of a input, and you don't really and the eye candy is nice, but the percentages and stuff.
Got your waifus.
The percentages and stuff are crazy, so I'm literally not putting any money into it. I refuse to, because it's just unfair. So what I would advise people to do is to hold off until next week. She's going to be put into, so save your gems, save everything you make it during this week's event. And then when she is put into the normal gacha that's not paid, then try for her. But for now, it's crazy. Like I would never spend $40 for a 0.77% chance to get her.
Yeah,
that's stupid. I'm sorry. I normally I try to like this is stupid. It doesn't.
That's less than 1% for $40. I mean,
yeah, there is a sale right now, so it actually costs less, I believe. But it's still, even if it was $20, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've seen people when they added Luna, they had a new character. I've seen people literally do 20, 30 throws, which means like it was probably something like $200 and not get her.
Oh man, that's the worst part is that you spend all that money and time and you don't even get anything out of it.
Yeah, honestly, this game I'm holding off on putting any money into it. Normally, I do put in the games I enjoy, like free-to-play games I enjoy, like Grand Blue Fantasy and Marvel Strike Frontier. I do put a quite limited amount of money into it, like maybe $30-$40 in a year, something like that, to support development and stuff.
Yeah,
but this one, it's a ripoff. I enjoyed the game a bit, but it's a ripoff, so I'm not going to. Very simply, until it becomes at least a little bit more fair. What do you think? Would you do that? Would you do it if it was like some really, really handsome husbandos in briefs?
No, that's a lot of money for such a small percentage. I mean, Tamaki is cute looking. I like her hair. I think she's styling, but I think definitely listen to the veteran here and hold off and wait because she's going to get rotated into your normal stuff.
There's going to be time.
So,
I still haven't gotten Luna, by the way, because the percentages are so bad that in any case, like you need to be really, really, really lucky. I unlocked like 5 girls into the game so far, and that's playing it daily. So
oh wow,
it's just If you put money, I guess you have a higher percentage still.
Yeah.
More news. Metal Maxino as a official English, North American and European publisher, which is NIS America. For the ones that don't know about it, Metal Maxino is the return of Metal Max series after a long time. It's an open world JRPG. Vehicle based, interesting. It's pretty good. This one has they added the character design by Odanon, which is a interesting character designer. Let's just leave it at that. Do you have any knowledge of the Metal Max series?
I do not. I saw this while I was doing some research for articles today, and I was like, is this a series? Is this a... I didn't know, but...
I mean, the new game looks old anyway, because...
Yeah, it did. It looked a little old, but I mean...
Well, it's a cross-generation game between PS4 and PS Vita, so... but they are only publishing it for PS4 in the West. They're skipping it. Looks like NIS America has decided that PS Vita is dead, which it is, so... In the end, that's all there is to it, right? And then the last piece of news for today, there are actually 4 pieces of news in one, which is Marvelous and Xseed. They made quite a few announcements this week. So 2 Senran Kagura games, which is Senran Kagura Renewal, Burst Renewal, which is basically the remake for PS4 of Senran Kagura Burst for 3DS. Also, I think they're releasing it for PC as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am in the West. Also, then there is a Switch exclusive, which is Senran Kagura, Shinobi Refure Senran Kagura, which is going to change in Senran Kagura Reflections, which is basically you touch the girl. That's basically the whole gameplay.
You touch the girl. I like that.
That's literally the whole gameplay. I'm not joking.
Well, okay.
But it's based on a gimmick that Switch has with the HD Rumble, so that's why you can touch the girl and literally feel like you're touching the girl, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I haven't tried it, so I can't testify to that. But I know
he hasn't tried it yet.
I haven't tried it. Period. I don't think I'm gonna play it because I'm not interested. Like the mechanics of I love the Senran Kagura series, but the mechanics of the games are a bit too elementary for me. I'm gonna play Burst Renewal, but I don't think this one I'm gonna waste my time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshots for it, and Burst Renewal looks really cool, and then the other one's just like, touch the girl.
Yeah,
you're literally right.
I mean, if I have to review it, I will. Do you have a Switch?
I do.
Okay, so I think you are gonna review it.
Oh, don't you throw that evil on me.
No, I'm not joking. You are going to review it.
Oh my god. And this is the last episode that Emily had on DualShock. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so all right. Oh, I didn't know.
All right, well, I guess
I didn't know you had a Switch, and now I do. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I had to drive 45 minutes to get it.
Mm-hmm. So the next announcement is it's Fate Estella Link, which is the second chapter of the Fate Estella series, gonna come for PS4 and PS Vita still. So PS Vita players, do you still have something to look forward to? Be happy.
You still have something to look forward to?
Yeah, I'm personally not a massive fan of the Fate series. Are you?
I haven't played many of the games. I like some of the anime, and I really like the concept of them using like historical figures and mythological figures. But I haven't played too many of the games, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I guess the first anime kind of scarred me because I didn't love the ending. You know what we're talking about?
Which one was it?
The first one, Fate and Fate Stay Night.
Yeah.
The ending is kind of depressing for me. So yeah.
It's a little rough, yeah.
I played the game also, the original game, and you had different endings, and I think they choose the wrong ending, which is something they often do, like when they make adaptations of visual novels. At least for me, I often see them pick an ending a route that I did not like, and that kind of turns me off. Yeah, and
a lot of times with visual novels and like dating games, when they get adapted into anime, they'll either try and do like they're friends with everyone route, or they'll pick a specific person, and then you're like,
And if you don't like the specific person, you're screwed.
Yeah,
for instance,
exactly.
Schwarz's Marken is, which is the prequel of Mavlov, is one of my favorite visual novels ever. But the anime, they picked literally the worst route possible for me.
Oh no.
So,
that's the worst feeling.
Yeah. Not happy. But then there was a surprising news still from Marvelous and Exceed. There is a remaster of Bullet Witch coming for PC. It was an old Xbox 360 game from 2006. Do you know Bullet Witch? Have you ever heard about it?
I do not.
It's
the first thing that comes to my mind is Bayonetta when I hear that, but
yeah, it's Bayonetta with a big gun instead of two small guns. Actually, 4 small guns. But yeah, it's maybe not as stylish, I guess, but it's a pretty good game. I mean, she has something. The gun is called the Gun Road. Which
I like the quote. We don't see many soldiers dressed up like you here. Yeah. On one of the screenshots.
Yeah, and that Gun Road is like it brings up all kind of innuendo, but let's not go into that. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it because I haven't finished the 360 version, so I'm probably gonna finish the English version. It's gonna come out in oh my god, we're already at 1 hour and 4 minutes.
Did you just lie?
Next.
Yeah.
Last thing, we have 2 contests running, well, giveaways running. First one is Mavlab and Mavlab Alternative in a package. We have 10 copies of each. So if you win, you're gonna win one of 10 of those packages. Gonna be 10 winners. And you're gonna get both Mavlab and Mavlab Alternative, which is the perfect introduction for Steam, of course. It's the perfect introduction to the series. We don't have the PS Vita version because it's not out yet. That's gonna be out in summer, so we're gonna wait for that one. But yeah, this is really a really good visual novel series. If you're into visual novel, into sci-fi, you should really try to get into the giveaway and try it because it's a great series and you can try it for free. And 10 copies are a lot, so maybe you can win.
Yeah. How long do people have to sign up for that?
I was saying that. This podcast is going to come out on Monday. Yes, you did. It's going to come out on Monday, and the last eligible time is on Tuesday at midnight PDT. So you're basically going to have a day and something to participate still. So don't forget, do it. We have another, and this is worldwide for everyone. We have another giveaway, 3 copies of the Day 1 edition for PS4 of Ni no Kuni 2, which is an awesome game. We gave it a 10, so you should absolutely try. Unfortunately, this is only for only for United States, because that the publisher is going to do the shipping, and they decided like that. So it's not really our decision. But if you're in the United States, you haven't tried Ni no Kuni and you have PS4, it's 3 copies, so there is more than one chance to win. And this one actually goes on until Thursday, so you have a little bit more time to participate. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
No. Do we have anything else coming out on the website anytime soon, or specifically?
We have a Dragon Quest XI interview. It's going to be up tomorrow for us, but yesterday for you guys on Sunday. And we have a few more previews and interviews from PAX East. Also, I still didn't post my article about Eroge. It's going to come this week.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. It's complicated.
It's complicated. Yeah, I can imagine.
And also there is going to be the unboxing video, the collector's edition of the Marvel series. So that's going to come out also this week. I already filmed it. I just need to voice it. So there's a bit more work to do there. That's it. So thank you, Emily, for being with me for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Sorry, everyone, we went a little bit longer than anyone else.
Well, at least we admitted that we knew we probably weren't going to be 30 minutes.
Sorry, we'll try to. Well, there was a lot of news. Like the main theme was 4 news. So. It was.
We do this because there's a lot to talk about, and that's great.
Yeah, definitely. As we say last week, like it's a great time to be weeb in gaming.
Yeah, really.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, basically, thank you for listening, and thank you for all the support you give us every time. So, Emily, you want to say bye?
I will say goodbye to our lovely listeners. Thank you for all the support, and yeah.
Goodbye.
We're coming back next week.
We're coming back
next week.
Okay, so it's not goodbye; it's just bye, right?
What?
In Muv-Luv, there is a scene in which you say, if you want to see someone again, you don't say goodbye; you say see you again.
See you again.
Okay. Good girl.
We'll see each other again.
Yes, you will. Even if we are on different
next
planets. Week. Okay, yeah, next week.
Different planets?
Yeah, that's the Muv-Luv things. You'll see. You have to play it. You promise you'll play it, so.
I know. I do.
Alrighty. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for all your support. Please comment and tell us what you like, what you don't like. Give us feedback so we can improve on the podcast, besides trying to be shorter. So again, if you enjoyed,
we appreciate your comments.
If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And this is Giuseppe and Nelva from DualShockers, and
Hobbs from DualShockers.
And we're out.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.